every day there's a new fire, a new problems on problems, and like you think you're gonna explode.
But it looks like you were dealing with a lot of online hate, people just shaming you, etc.
People sent me the video of her wearing the Pirouette skirt. I went numb. I couldn't even feel anything. Swifties just started coming over. They found it. And then we get like 16,000 pre-orders for that one skirt in that color. I absolutely hate AI. There have been instances where my videos are just stolen off of my page. They've used AI to actually change my face. I'm gonna keep fighting because it's not right. I can't work for free for somebody else. As a principal, I will never stop fighting.
Hello everyone, welcome to Silicon Valley Girl. I have Blogilates today.
Hi.
I am so happy that you're here. We met in 2022, I think, the Creator
Summit,
Creator
right?
Summit
I
by
remember.
YouTube.
Yeah.
And you were doing this Pilates thing in the morning, which is amazing. And I still have your mat.
Oh, good.
Which is a huge business for you. So I'm excited to chat about
Yeah.
AI.
Yep.
Taking over everything. And
yeah.
I'd love your take on what it's like to run a business in 2025 as a creator and also a woman. So welcome to Silicon Valley Girl.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Can you tell me what's going on with your business right now?
So there's two brands. There's Blogilates, which is the retail exclusive to Target brand. And just at the top of this year, we launched apparel at Target for the very first time. It was all 1,800 stores in the very front gateway, which was so cool because it really felt like winning the retail Super Bowl. Like you just don't get those opportunities.
Yeah.
So that was fully manufactured by our team. We're the vendor. That was such a crazy thing to pull off because in under a year, we had to figure out how to produce 1.1 million units. Yeah, and we had never done anything like that before. The Popflex brand is my D2C brand that we mostly sell online, and that one is at a higher price point and really focused on innovation and performance and also just like testing all sorts of things. I would say the Target one is more activewear, whereas Popflex started out with activewear and then has now evolved into swimwear and underwear and like casual dresses and stuff. So I'm having a lot of fun playing around with innovation over there.
That's amazing that you have kind of just similar, but at the same time, different brands. How does it work when you think about launching a new product? Which brand does it go to?
Popflex is where the innovation begins, where I get to have fun. Nobody tells me what I have to do or can't do. Well, actually, no, the customers tell me what I have to do. And so I love going into the comments and figuring out, hey, what are they looking for? What problems do they need solving with? But with Popflex, we innovate, we product develop, we try it out. And then with Target, pretty much the playbook right now is that we take what works really well with Popflex and I redesign it so that it can hit a lower price point for the Target audience, which has been really great because one of the biggest complaints we get about Popflex is it's too expensive, I can't afford it, and like specifically, please launch at Target. And so when that happened this past January, it worked. I was afraid though, because here's the thing: you launch with a brand at a higher price point, and then my next question was, is launching a brand at half the price point going to cannibalize my original brand?
Yeah.
Right? And this was really just up in the air. We didn't know. But the weird thing is when we launched at Target for Blogilates, it actually helped increase revenue for Popflex, which is crazy. But if you think about it, it was like marketing. Being in front of the store, everyone got to see it. Things sold out so quick. There were like 3 specific styles that 90% of the inventory sold out within 3 days. It was insane.
Fascinating.
It's crazy. But then on the tag, it tells a little bit of a story about me, and it says CEO and head designer of Popflex and Blogilates. And so people can go and figure out, oh, maybe there's more if I can't get it here. So I think it was really, really great for legitimacy as a brand and as a designer.
And how do the margins work? So with Target, you get a licensing fee or you get like, how does it work in general?
Okay, that's a really good question. So with the apparel, it wasn't licensing. That was fully like we are the vendor. So essentially we are selling wholesale to Target and then they mark up how they decide to mark up in the front. However, there is a fitness section where you see the yoga mats and the dumbbells and things. That is a licensing deal. And so I get paid a % royalty on that. But the apparel is all manufactured by us.
Got it.
Yeah.
In terms of revenue split, what does your business look like these days?
Okay, so this is a really interesting question because us both coming from the creator space, from the YouTube space, it is not what most people would think it is.
Not like Google AdSense.
Yeah, I had just talked to my husband, who's also the COO of the company. I was like, oh wait, let's like look at these numbers again. It's actually less than 1% of our revenue comes from anything related to like ads or pre-rolls or anything like that, or brand deals, because I do not do brand deals anymore. And let me tell you, I'm so happy about that, because honestly, any tension that came between me and my husband were like about stick to the brand deal guidelines, and they told you to do this, but I'm like, but I did do that. And he's like, but legal says, and it was like so much, like I hate that. So yeah, over 99% of our revenue comes from the apparel businesses.
I really loved what Cassey said right here. You do not grow a brand like Popflex or Blogilates without being truly authentic. You have to be connected to your audience, and you have to be telling them stories all the time through different mediums. And that brings us something I talk a lot about in our business: email marketing. For us, email marketing has been historically generating around 20% of all the sales when it comes to LinguaTrip, when it comes to my school where I'm helping international creators build their businesses. And this is where we tell our stories in text. And keeping that channel strong is non-negotiable. That's why I can recommend a platform called OmniSend. It's an all-in-one marketing platform for email, SMS, pop-ups, push notifications, and segmentation with one very intuitive dashboard. With 150,000 businesses using OmniSend, it's not just a tool to send emails. It's where you build relationships with your customers. It's where you learn what groups of customers you have, and you learn how to communicate with them better. There are a few things that I love the most about OmniSend. First of all, it's pricing. You can start for free. You only scale when your business does, and you don't have to pay for features that you're not using. There's support. Even on their free plan, you get 24/7 support. A customer representative gets back to you in minutes, which is crucial. Imagine you have a sale going on and something is not working. You need someone to fix it right away, and OmniSend customer support is there for you. And third, the platform is really clean and intuitive. If you're sending a launch email, just use your campaign type, write a short, punchy subject line like how to not lose your job in the age of AI, fill in your info, pick a template, customize, hit send, and you're done. So if you're launching activewear like Cassey, or you're launching something else, email is still powering D2C, direct to consumer, and OmniSend makes it effortless. Check out the link in the description. Use code SVGGirl30 to get 30% off your first 3 months. All right, back to our interview. In terms of marketing, what works these days?
For marketing, it's organic, which is also very different than a traditional D2C online brand who, from what I hear, they rely heavily on, meta ads and things like that. So luckily for me, because I do come from a content creator background, I really enjoy making content. And so you probably have seen some of these videos where I'm talking about the design, the why, where it came from, what problem we're solving. I show them the actual sketch throughout the development, some samples, things that didn't work out. And taking people on the journey behind a product is really interesting. And I didn't think it would be, but people are really interested. And what's crazy is that what is a fun piece of content for me to film, edit, voiceover. And by the way, I still do all of that myself, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
I know. It's like really unconventional. It's really hard. It's too much going on at once. But like one 60-second video takes about 9 hours to make. And I am literally the one editing in CapCut and InShot on my phone. But I choose to do this. Everyone's like, Cassey, you need to get an editor. And I had that life before. I had the life of horizontal content, long form, fitness videos. We had an editor. We'd come back, you go in, I forget what that program is, but, put the notes and everything. But I lost the joy in all of that. And being able to talk about the product and the design, because each design feels like my baby, has brought the joy back into editing for me.
How many videos a week?
I'm averaging 1 right now, but sometimes I feel like it. I can do like 2, but it's a lot because it's like I'm part content creator, part CEO and head designer. And so like during the normal workday, I have the normal meetings and product development calls and fittings and things like that. And it's only after hours when I can like sit in the corner of the couch and like I'm just editing for like 7 hours straight until my hands cramp. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that the organic videos, they work and they sell. Like sometimes a video goes viral. the thing can sell out within a few hours, which is insane. So that's working for us, which is very atypical of a D2C business. Now that's the Blogilates, and this is where it gets confusing. So I started out on YouTube with the screen name Blogilates. So essentially these days, I think if people started out, it'd be like at Cassey Ho or something. So anyway, Blogilates is my channels across the board. So I make my content for my pages. Nobody touches that. However, I will say that there is a Popflex IG and YouTube and TikTok, and that is a separate marketing team. So we have videos go over there too. And I will say both organic videos on both sides really do sell really, really well. And one type of organic video that sells well on the Popflex side is what we produce at what we call a content house. And so we reach out to women in our community, sizes extra, extra small, all the way to 3X. So that's 9 different sizes. And we put the girls in like the same baby doll dress or something. And they all get to walk out, model. And now people get to see, oh, this is what someone like me might look like. Okay, that's a medium. That's a 1X. That's a size small. And it's really fun to like create with our community. So that also sells really,
And how,
really well.
how does it work? So you just DM your customers like, hey, do you want to be in the video or?
So we do an open casting call. We do an open casting call. People have to send in videos because honestly, it's not just even about like the modeling. It's about the personality, that's charisma, like what shows through the screen, right? And also the girls having a good time with each other because they're all nice and kind. And so luckily, the ones that we have put on, everyone is just so excited to be there. Of course, they get compensated through pay, but also they get to keep all the clothes that they get that day that haven't been released. So that's super exciting for them too. Yeah. So on the organic side, that is what's working for Blogilates and then for Popflex. But I will say something really interesting we should talk about is TikTok lives.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a huge thing these days, right?
Huge. Oh my God. Okay. So this was wild. Sam and I were on a little weekend trip and we were just checking like Shopify sales and we're like, whoa, did someone just mention something? Like, what's going on? We started seeing like all these pirouette skirts, which is the skirt that Taylor Swift wore, and my patented skirt. Just like for whatever reason, it was just going like up, and we're like, what's going on? We couldn't figure it out. So we go on Slack, we're messaging everyone like, hey, did something happen? Did someone mention us? And we find out there's this girl with 1,900 followers on TikTok. So she's not like really a big content creator at all or a creator at all. She has gone live for like 5 or 6 hours and she's just showing the skirt that she's wearing and answering questions. And she brought a huge spike that day.
Oh, wow.
It was insane. There's something about like, I don't know, like this is also another conversation, but like I feel like as the influencer industry has evolved, it's like consumers have lost trust in it because it's become almost like this fancy pedestal like thing. Whereas a normal girl with 1,900 followers, she's going to tell you the truth. Like, or at least that's the perception, right? And she sold some skirts. So that was crazy.
Talk to me about Taylor. How did that happen?
God. Okay, so I am a huge Taylor Swift fan. I've been listening to her music since 2008, Teardrops on My Guitar. And she's honestly like my favorite musician, singer, songwriter, and honestly, businesswoman. So when on April 19th of last year, people sent me the video of her wearing the pirouette skirt, I went numb. I like couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even feel anything because I was feeling everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I basically died. And it was insane. One, because that was like ultimate dream fulfilled. Like out of any celebrity in the world, if there was one person that I wanted to wear Popflex, it would be her. And it happened, which is so crazy.
Did you send it to her?
No.
Was it like a PR or?
No. People ask me all the time, oh, did you send it to her? Like, no, like Taylor Swift is a billionaire. She can buy whatever she wants, right? And also she's very intentional with what she buys. So sometimes I wonder like, did she know all the stuff I was going through fighting for, you know, the rights to protect my design in the same way that she protects her music? Or did she just see it on TikTok and she liked it and she bought it? I will never know.
What happened to sales?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that digital lavender pirouette skirt sold out within 1 hour on the website. Like Swifties just started coming over. They found it. And when Taylor Swift Style, the Instagram account, like confirmed it, that's when the sales started coming in like wild. And then within 2 hours, every single color of that skirt started selling out. And then we're like, okay, well, what do we do, right? Because we're getting all this traffic. Like, we got to do something. And we usually never do a pre-sale, but we're like, okay, maybe it's time to do a pre-sale. I don't know. So immediately we put a pre-sale up that night. And then we get like 16,000 pre-orders for that one skirt in that color.
Wow.
Yeah, which was insane. And then we had to work really hard to get that reorder up and going because, you know, we've got to weave the fabric, dye the fabric, cut and sew. Like, it's a whole process. And people eventually got it a few months later, and I'm just so happy. It's
That's
like so
amazing.
crazy.
Such a cool moment. Okay, with all the crazy things that you're telling me, have you ever had thoughts like, let just Sam, your husband, handle everything and I will just enjoy life?
You know what? Sam says that to me all the time. He's often tired. He's like, what if we just like chilled out for a second? What if all this growth was enough? You know, like what if we just sailed? But like, it's the way my parents raised me. I'm just like, nothing's ever good enough, and like we must keep growing. And to be honest, like it's fun, but at the same time, I do feel, especially this year, you know, running 2 different brands, I am exhausted. I'm exhausted mentally, often emotionally too, because not only am I dealing with bigger problems with the business as we grow our team, I'm now taking on the emotional toll of what my team's going through. So if they're tired, then I'm tired for them. And so, yeah, it's extremely exhausting. And I think what is not helpful, but maybe helpful, is that this way in which we hire is, I think it's different than how other businesses may hire. I hire slowly because I've been through toxic employee periods, and I'm terrified. I'm terrified of that because that can crumble everything. And it almost did in like 2017, 2018 times. And so any fractures that we're seeing right now, they're stress fractures, and it's coming from our growth is outpacing the pace at which I'm hiring. And so that's something that I'm trying to deal with right now. Like, I know there are good people out there, but it's not just about the skill. It's about the culture fit. And what we have on the team right now is so good. And I'm just terrified of breaking what we have.
How many people do you have?
So we have 30 people right now. And
that's so cool. That's a really lean team.
Very lean for what we do. I think that's why we're all really tired. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with AI? What is your take? Are you automating things? What apps are you using?
So my husband he's a fan of ChatGPT, but me coming from more of a designer artist background, I absolutely hate AI when it comes to stealing from original artwork, because AI would not be able to do what it's doing without pulling from previous work. So in that aspect, I absolutely hate it. I think there needs to be some type of royalty built in or something, so that if you are taking inspiration from, you know, whoever artist, and you have to type in that person's name to get that look, then just based on that alone, okay, 5% needs to go back to original artist, or 10% or whatever. I think that needs to be in place. Then I think people would be less mad. But right now it's like totally Wild West with AI. That's how I feel on that front. But in terms of like, you know, travel plans and like fun little searches here and there, it's helpful. I'm warming up to it. But like on the artist side, I absolutely hate it.
But do you see it helping you stay lean with your team? Like, because you're utilizing more AI tools, or it's not there yet?
No, right now I don't really see, at least with on the apparel and the apparel and product development side, I really don't see how it can help us right now. I think we've dabbled in a little bit of it with the copy on our website. There probably are different areas we could start using it. I think there could be, because what I'm seeing right now as we're growing our design and development team, there seems to be like this lack of new young people in the technical designer space, because I think everyone wants to be a fashion designer, a graphic designer, but like technical design is really like architecture of clothing. It's very mathematical, very science. And I just wonder, that's probably a good area for AI to like begin helping, especially if the young people don't want to get into that field. Like I'm actually having a lot of trouble hiring in that specific role. Yeah. So maybe someone will come up with something to help with pattern making. Yeah. That makes it easier. And I know that's probably different than how more of the techie people feel about it, but it's just because I've been so burned and taken advantage of, just even without AI, or no, actually with AI, in terms of my patented products too. And like, they've been duped by the Sheins, multiple vendors on Amazon, TikTok Shop. And these days, the big American retailers have gotten in on the game, which is insane. Right now, I'm dealing with Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx, Kohl's, JCPenney, just recently VS Pink, as in Victoria's Secret. And these are patented products. And what I'm dealing with right now is that, I pay thousands of dollars to get my design patent approved. And obviously, it doesn't automatically get approved. You have to prove a lot of different things. Anyway, pay thousands of dollars. The USPTO issues me a design patent. You would think that's enforceable. And for the most part, it kind of is. But when you get to the stage of having to deal with big billion-dollar corporations, it's now a money game. Because do I have any type of police helping me enforce this patent? No, actually, it's me paying thousands of dollars an hour for my lawyers to talk to their lawyers. And this is kind of where I am right now. And it's extremely frustrating because, it's my artwork, my work for free, them capitalizing off of work that they've stolen from me. So that's how I feel about that. And in terms of AI, there have been instances where my videos are just stolen off of my page. They've used AI to actually change my face.
Oh yeah, happens to me all the time.
Oh my God.
And you promote a scam with your face.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God. No, it's crazy.
And they can't do anything. The platforms, because they're
hands off.
Accounts. Yeah. So what happens when bigger companies, they steal your patent, you try to sue them or talk to them? Have you ever been able to win something, or it just goes like that?
Well, right now, my immediate goal is get it off the website or get it off the platform. And it's completely a game of whack-a-mole. And what the problem is that the platform puts it on the small business, the creator, whatever, because they're hands off. So you fill out this form. It's such a long form, but you fill it out like multiple times a day. Like, just for example, the other week, just on that Pirouette skirt that I was talking about, the one that Taylor wore, I think there were, what was it? Like 233 or 433, I should look again, separate dupe listings of that one skirt on TikTok Shop alone. I'm not even talking about Amazon, okay? I'm not talking about Temu. I'm not talking about AliExpress. That was just TikTok Shop. And my frustration with it is, okay, sure, we could be losing, money from whatever that we could have made from the real thing. However, my bigger fear is that it cheapens the design. You see it now everywhere. It's no longer special. And then confusion. I mean, I've even had fans DM me and be like, oh, do you also run this sub-brand? Because they've not only copied the designs, they've copied my marketing too. Even the angles of where I film, hiring a model with my body type and my skin color. Like, it gets so deep and so confusing that it ends up hurting the brand reputation. And I've actually had people, what I think, bought from one of these fake videos, right? It links over to their stupid dropship website. They buy it, and the pictures are my model pictures, my description, whatever. So they're completely duped. Then they'll receive the product and then come back to my page and blame me for
complain.
Slow shipping, bad quality, like things they call it that like is not even on the real product. Like, that's the level of confusion that is so dangerous and tarnishing to a brand.
But it feels like at this point, it became part of the culture, and there's, I don't know if you can do anything. Like Louis Vuitton bags, the fake ones are everywhere. And you're like, just accept it. Have you ever thought of like, you just know?
No, I can't accept it. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep fighting because it's not right. I can't work for free for somebody else. I as a principal, I will never stop fighting. I can't. Yeah. And then
Talk to me about that, because you also you stopped posting, right, the long form, and I've from what I've read, it looks like you were dealing with a lot of online hate and like people just shaming you, etc.
Yeah.
Do you think you stopped because of that, or was there any other reason?
That was a big part of it. So I've never really talked about this officially, so I'm glad you brought it up. So I used to make long form fitness videos since 2009 as a Pilates instructor.
That is crazy, though.
Yeah,
2009.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
So I did that because I wanted to stay connected with my real life students, and it was meant for 40 people. I put up a video for them because I was moving from LA to Boston for my first job. And that's it. I wasn't planning to start a YouTube channel. I wasn't starting a brand, nothing like that. You couldn't even make money on YouTube back then. And then that video ended up getting thousands of views and hundreds of comments, and Blogilates became like this fitness channel and community. And what I didn't expect, because this never happens in real life, was for people to say something negative about my body. Because if anything, I'll tell you, I was afraid to be like, oh, she's not pointing her toes enough. Her legs aren't straight enough. Like her form is bad. Never got any of those comments. The first mean comments I got were, oh, why is she so fat? Why is her butt so flat? Oh, why does she look like that? And having grown up chubby and having to deal with my own like body insecurities, that just hit me so deep in a place that I wasn't ready to like. I was barely even healing from it inside, and now I'm having to heal, or not even heal, but just like deal with it head on in front of millions of people. And so that was just a constant thing that was happening in the background. But that wasn't why I stopped everything, if I'm being completely honest. I was no longer feeling emotionally and mentally challenged with my content. And just as the person that I am, and content being an extension of who I am, not just something that I do, I want to find the joy in it. And towards the end of when I posted my last long form video, which is probably like 2021, I wanted to show people more of the other things I was doing. Like, yes, I was doing the fitness videos that you saw, but in the background, I was running an apparel business. And I wanted to show people that side of me. And so my first short form video was just showing people like, oh, the science behind camel toe. Like, why does that happen? And I was honestly really surprised that it did well. And I was like, oh, maybe I can try to make more of these. And they ended up working. They ended up selling the product, and they ended up helping me show a different side of myself. And like I said at the top of this interview, it brought the joy back into the editing for me. And so I switched my content for me so that I could feel happy with what I was producing, and also challenged with what I was producing.
But have you ever feared that going back will not generate as much views as it used to? Or you're never going back to long form?
Well, here's the thing. I've never made an official announcement, because who knows? Like, maybe I will one day want to be like, oh, let's just like do a squat challenge or something. Like, that's still there. In this moment right now, I'm just so in love with product development and design that that's the content that I want to make. And should I go back? Like, let's see. I think the other month, when I was launching the Blogilates for Target brand, I taught a fitness class in front of a group of people, which I haven't done in a long time. And it was super fun. Like, that part of me will always be here, because I've been teaching since like 2006. So that group fitness instructor, Cassey, will never go away. I love fitness. I work out every single morning. That's part of my routine. I just really needed a break from that. But I will say too, the moment that I switched from fitness content to fashion content, not one person has said one negative thing about my body, which made me realize, oh man, I was dealing with a lot of toxic, like, negativity for a long time, feeling so bad about my body for a long time. And it was like I was in the wrong industry. Yeah. And I didn't look like the other girls.
You probably get negative comments still, right? Probably now about your business.
It's like here's the thing. They don't attack my body, which is like,
they just switched to
but
different
they might
topic.
attack. Yeah, they might attack like, oh, your skirts are too short. Like, okay, like I can deal with that. What I can't deal with though is one time. This is the worst one. I remember they attacked. This is back in the fitness days. One of the comments was, oh, if you cared more about your career, you would lose some weight. And that one hurt so much, because not only did it attack my body, it attacked my work ethic. And nobody attacks my work ethic, because I work so hard. And so if any comment today, say what you want about the apparel. Everyone is subjective and it has their own, likes and stuff. But say anything about my work ethic, and that really hurts, because it's just untrue. But, with the negative comments from back in the day, there was a video that I made, forget when it was, like probably 2015 or 2016, where I honestly could not take it anymore, because it was coming from every angle. And I really was crumbling on the inside. And so what I did was I took all these negative comments and I produced this video called The Perfect Body, where I photoshopped on camera how these comments wanted me to look. Thinner waist, bigger boobs, bigger butt, bigger eyes even, right? And that for me was something I needed to do for myself to heal, because when I heal, I like taking the negative energy, turning it on its head and turning it into something positive. So I put that video out for me. What I didn't expect was for it to go crazy viral. I think that was like my first crazy viral video that got on like Good Morning America, on like every single news outlet. Like it was insane. And I got messages from fathers telling me they shared it with their daughters and their wives, and it had like this profound impact. And around 2016 was also like the body positive movement. And so I think during that time, that's kind of just what everyone needed. So there was good that came out of those negative comments, but man, they really hurt.
Can you give advice to girls, anyone going online these days trying to make something and getting all this hate, and maybe they're thinking of stopping to do what they're doing because of that?
Here's the thing. If you really believe in what you're doing and you're not hurting anyone and you're having a fun time, just do it, right? Like at the core of all of this, we can't keep going unless we're having fun, right? Because we're the content creator. But in these comments, some of them are hateful, but some of them can have a little bit of truth. So I read all my comments all the time.
Oh, you still do?
Oh my God, yes. Do you
Really?
not?
I read them for the first couple hours because I know these are my loyal subscribers watching. But then when the video goes viral, like I don't really care.
Well, yeah, it's too much. It's truly too much. Agree on the first few hours, like reading everything in and writing back, because it's fun. Because
it's fun. These are your friends, really. This is your community. But then if it starts getting more traction than ever, then all of these people come in and like start commenting on my age, whatever.
Oh my God. Well, when it gets to the wrong side of the internet, it's bad.
But when it's viral,
when it's viral, it's viral. No, I know. But yeah, I mean, look, I think there's truth in some comments, and there can be self-reflection. But look, if you're having fun and it's working, like just keep going, because your content will find the right people. Yeah.
So if you stop making your short videos today, how would that affect your sales?
Ooh, I think that would affect the sales, because right now around, I think 70% of the revenue is brought in by organic videos. Yeah, whether it's organic videos by
you or
by me, by Blogilates like me, or by the Popflex organic videos, but mostly by at Blogilates videos.
Oh, that is huge.
Yeah.
70%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I know, it's very, very different than normal D2C brands that rely on the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good, but also again,
so you feel the pressure.
If I stopped, I look, I think there would be an impact, but I don't think the brand would die, because our SMS as well as our newsletter does really, really well. Like the click-through and the open rate are really high. People love it. Honestly, what's been really cool to see is that sometimes people might follow Popflex but not follow me, or like they might know Popflex but not know me, and I really like that, because that's showing that this is a brand beyond, any influencer influence or just, anything that has to do with Cassey Ho, because my goal is for Popflex to become a legacy brand that lives on for hundreds of years after I die. And that foundation for this type of brand and this type of product needs to start now while I'm still alive, right? Mm-hmm. So, but if I did stop, it would make an impact. Yeah.
So your number one marketing strategy would be your content, and second, the content that your brand produces. Are you tapping into UGC or live shopping?
So personally, I haven't done the live shopping myself. I should try it though.
You should try it.
I should try it.
It'll be perfect for you. You'll see. I think you'll see another uptick.
Okay. I should try it. I should try it. I also I like being in front of the camera. It's fun. What was it? UGC. So, okay. I don't know about you, but I think UGC is trending down over the past few years. They've become less effective for our brand. Okay, because there's something about it that feels too produced or something like that. And like we I would say 3 years ago, when UGC was like super new and brands were using it instead of like highly produced content, it was interesting. But now, I don't know, it doesn't feel as authentic. What feels authentic right now are team content videos. So like I'll have the marketing team come to my house and like we'll film like some fun videos and stuff, and like that does well for us. And then also the content house videos where we bring our customers over in 9 sizes and we wear the same dress and we model around. But yeah, for some reason like UGC and just in the likes that I'm seeing on the IG posts, like not as good as they used to be.
Interesting.
The reason why Blogilates has been around for so long is because I ebb and flow with the algorithm, with the trends. You just don't know. Like, is TikTok going to be here in the next 90 days? Like, I don't know. It seems to be changing all the time. So I'll change as it changes, but I can't really tell you how I'll change because it's kind of dictated by the social media environment. Even in the failing, we're going to figure something out because we have to. That's how
I
I
love
feel.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. It
Yeah.
actually gives you some confidence. Like,
Yeah, of course. Like, you've made it this far. Like, what's stopping you from like figuring it out again and again and again? Like, I feel like literally every day there's a new fire, a new problems on problems. And like, you think you're going to explode, but you don't. And you just figure it out, as painful as it is. And you get stronger for it.
true.
Yeah.
I read, I think it's on Wikipedia, your father's quote when
Mm.
you told him you want to be a designer, and he
Yeah.
said you're not going to have friends and
Oh,
money.
yeah. Uh-huh.
What does he say now?
Unfortunately, this is an area where I still need to improve our relationship. Honestly, we're not really talking too much right now. Yeah. And I think a lot of this goes back to I was always the obedient daughter. I always did what my parents wanted. And when I finally decided to live for myself in college and, drop out of that last class I needed to take the MCAT and, possibly apply to med school, I think that was really disrespectful for them. And I became this like rebellious person. And unfortunately, regardless of everything that's happened now, my mom's different, but my mom is very proud. She's very proud. But I think my dad still holds a grudge for many things.
Interesting.
Yeah. Respect runs really, really deep, I think, in like the Asian culture. I'm Vietnamese and Vietnamese and Chinese background. And I think he is still hurt by that and some other things that are in parallel to that and because of that.
Well, I hope it improves. Can you give advice to everyone who's starting a business in 2025?
Ooh, starting a business in 2025. Whether it's 2025 or in the future or, even way before then, you have to find the joy in what you're doing. At least for me, I have always followed my heart and it's always taken me to the right place. Even if it's the most windiest, painful path, it always takes you to the right place. And it's what is going to keep you going when you feel like quitting. Your passion can take you over those humps. That's one thing, just on the internal. But on the external, look for a problem that hasn't been solved yet. If you can solve that problem, you've got a business, period. And I guess third, I'm just going to tack on now, like, use social media, have fun, make content about the process. People love that. They love being taken on the journey. And I think with those like 3 different things, like, let your personality shine through. And because the business is more than just a thing that you're selling. It's more than just the marketing of the thing that you're selling. It's the story, it's the brand, and it's the journey. And the customer wants to be a part of that journey.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was really inspiring.
Oh,
what I'm
good.
taking away is that phrase that will have in my head now when I have this fear of like, what if it all goes down? I'll figure it out.
You're going to figure it out because you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.